Hey there, viewers and listeners. Welcome back to another podcast episode of Libation Nation, your new favorite source on the latest stories and social news about all things beer, whiskey, and spirits. Much of the Southwest has been experiencing extreme drought conditions for the better part of 2 decades now. In fact, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation has declared a water shortage in Lake Mead and Lake Powell of the Colorado River for the first time in recorded history. This is a really big deal considering this water provides for more than 20 million Americans in much of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, and of course our most populated state, California. Overall, the United States doesn't have a water supply problem, but rather a water distribution one. But this fact doesn't help our western states in the short term, and they need solutions now. California, having served as the unofficial epicenter of climate change in America, has felt the water pinch since the early 2000s. Between being the largest populated state in the country, lack of new reservoir creation or revamping of existing water supply infrastructures, very high energy demands, and poorly regulated public congestion matters, California has found itself in the perfect storm of an unmitigated megadrought disaster. Don't misunderstand. Much of California's predicament isn't entirely their fault. Climate change is a global event. Be that as it may, California also has a long and notorious history of reactive versus proactive approaches when it comes to governing itself well in an ever-changing environment. Until recently, it's been a lot of talk without the walk. So what does a megadrought mean for the future of California? Or to put it another way, what does the outlook of the craft brewery capital of the world look like for the coming decade or two? California has by far the most craft breweries than any other state. Some estimates put the number somewhere shy of 1,000 breweries, more than double than its closest rivaling states. And that's not even counting its vast wineries and distilleries either. It goes without saying that California breweries need one essential ingredient that's becoming increasingly scarce: water. And they need a lot of it. Water is basically the new gold rush in the Golden State. People and businesses require it for overall business operations, sanitation, and, well, survival. Even the state's vast agriculture hikes this precious demand even further through very old and outdated water rights claims. There's simply too many water requests with a shrinking water supply. This makes our beloved California beer a precious commodity in its own right, a liquid gold even. And breweries know this fact all too well. No way around it, craft breweries need water. Some are waiting on political solutions from the top down. Quite a few legislative proposals have been discussed. These include everything from water importing and water recycling methods to desalination from the Pacific Ocean and extreme water conservation efforts. Even water capturing technology and fog patterns has been floated around in the San Francisco Bay Area. However, others aren't waiting on Sacramento to solve its problems. This isn't the first time Californian craft breweries have had to get creative during massive water shortages. While difficult to get an exact figure, each gallon of beer requires about 4 to 6 gallons of water. On the face of it, this seems pretty wasteful from a water conservation perspective. Other ingredients like grain, hops, and yeast largely come from out-of-state agriculture where rain is not an issue. This means water is really the only major local ingredient required for California breweries to continue brewing their IPAs, stouts, porters, lagers, etc. Even with all that in mind, a report from the Public Policy Institute of California, the PPIC, surprisingly concluded that the craft brewery industry in the state posed little to no impact on California's drought. So if grain, hops, yeast, and California water, all the main ingredients in beer, are not negatively impacting its water shortage concern, then is there a problem here? Well, some water conservationists and activists have criticized those quick to jump on the PPIC bandwagon. They fear true water usage to make California beer is far more complex than what this report would suggest, making it difficult to fully assess the actual water costs and environmental toll. Either way, these are just some of the reasons that breweries are taking matters into their own hands. Waiting on state government action could leave too much to chance, and possibly too little help in the end. California breweries have gotten creative though. Meticulous water tracking, new wastewater treatment systems, drilling their own wells, and even enhanced technologies are just some of the unique innovations they've already started implementing into the current batch production and overall operations. with most already reporting positive results and cost saving in some circumstances. Does this mean that we all have to cut back on our favorite Golden State produced suds? Nope, not at all. It would seem California's amazing craft brewery scene is safe for now. Let Sacramento and Washington, D.C. hash it out. We can all play a role in reducing our carbon footprint, but this is going to require policies on a grander scale, unfortunately. In the meantime, let's continue enjoying delicious brews from the beachside coastline all the way to the top of the Sierra Nevada mountains. Cheers to California beers. Next episode, we'll be covering Samuel Adams' not-so-legal new beer batch. Until then, take care, Libation Nation.